everyone, it's Missy and welcome back to the Freeform crop topper pattern. We are going to learn how to do the Paisley pattern today, and you are going to make two of those. I've already got a finished one here. So as you can see, we're going to be using 3 different colors of yarn. I'm doing mine in black, red, and gold, and we are going to start off with the black yarn first. As always, we are starting with our Slipknot. I'm going to be using an eye hook, or the size needed to attain the gauge. If you guys want to see how to do some of the other patterns in this video series, I will put them in the description link below, as well as a copy of the written instructions so you can see those as well. When we have our Slipknot on the hook, we are going to chain 21 stitches. Once our 21 stitches are complete, we are going to start row 1. Row 1 is going to be our right side of our project. To begin, we're going to single crochet in the second chain from our hook, like so. We are going to single crochet in the next 5 chain stitches. So that's going to give us a total of 6 single crochets for the row. So to do the half double crochet, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain stitch, pull up a loop, so there's 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And that's your half double crochet stitch. And we're going to do this 5 more times, so we have a total of 6 for the row. So once you have your half double crochet stitches completed, you're going to see that it's going to start to curl on you a little. That's okay. That's kind of what we want it to do because the Paisley does have a curl in it. And we are going to double crochet then in the next 7 chain stitches. So to do the double crochet, it's almost like a half double crochet. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So there's 2 loops left on your hook, yarn over and pull through those remaining 2 loops. So that was my second double crochet stitch that I did. So once you get the 7 double crochets done, you're going to have 1 chain stitch left from your foundation row, and that is where we're going to make our turn. So we're going to work 5 double crochets in this last chain stitch. And what you're going to want to do, I'm going to get my first one done here, is you're just going to want to keep inserting your hook into that same stitch as you make all these double crochets. So once I finish my second double crochet, as you can see, I'm turning my work, I should say clockwise, and I'm going to put my third double crochet in, and that's going to be like kind of the tip of the foundation row. So I got 2 on this side and then 1. So it kind of looks like that. Flip it all the way around. I'm going to keep putting my double crochet stitches in there until I have a total of 5. So we just did this. Okay, so once we completed these 5 double crochets, we're going to work on the other side of the foundation row. And what we're going to do is we are going to double crochet in the next 5 chains. So we're done with this big hole stitch, that's the end of the stitch. You can feel with your fingers sometimes, if you have your stitches loose enough, to kind of poke your hook through, and we're looking for the last double crochet that was made. You can see that there's like this little hole right there. That's where I inserted it into the foundation chain when I was working on the row. So just do a double crochet like so. Okay, so I finished my 5 double crochets. on the other side, opposite side of the foundation chain. And now I want to half double crochet in the next chain. So we're going to kind of decrease the size of our stitches, just like so. And then in the next chain I want a single crochet, and in the next chain I want to do a slip stitch. So I'm just inserting my hook to the chain, pulling up a loop, and pulling it through the other loop I had on my hook. Just like that. Once you have done the slip stitch, you're going to leave the remaining chains here unworked. And all you have to do now is fasten off. So I'm going to get my scissors here, cut my yarn, fasten off. And as you can see, I have my other yarn tail here. I stitched over the top of it so it's already woven in, so I'm going to get that out of the way too. Just discard that. And now I'm going to turn my work so the wrong side is facing, which is where we want to have our row 2 start. And I should also tell you too that there's supposed to be 32 stitches from the beginning of our tail all the way around to the slip stitch at the end. Okay? So now I'm going to get rid of the black yarn. I'm going to kind of keep this here as a guide too. So we have everything facing the right way. We are going to start with the red on top of that slip stitch we just made. If you need to, put in a stitch marker so you can find that stitch. I think I know where it is. The slip stitches for me are sometimes a little tricky to find, especially when I'm using black yarn, but pretty sure I can find it. So here we have our slip knot with the red, and well, right where the yarn tail is, that's where the slip stitch is. So I'm just going to insert my hook right in there. Then I'm going to do a slip stitch to join my yarn. I'm going to take my tails again and weave them in as I go. I just hold them on the back side of my work. We're ready to start row 2. So we are going to single crochet. I'm going to do a chain 1 and then I'm going to single crochet, deviating a little bit from the written pattern there. Right into that slip stitch that I joined into. And now I'm going to single crochet in the next 7 stitches. So I've finished my 7 single crochet stitches. Now I'm going to complete 2 single crochets in each of the next 5 stitches. That's just so we can go around this curve. So in the next stitch, I'm going to do my first single crochet, go right back into that stitch and do a second one, and just kind of rotating my work as I go. So single crochet here twice. Alright, so I'm kind of to the tip of my work. I'm going to single crochet twice in this stitch. In the next one. And then this is the last one. I'm going to single crochet twice in. Just like that. And now I can single crochet in each of the remaining stitches, so all the way down. So when I have finished, there will be a total of 37 stitches in row 2. Okay, to kind of show you where we're at, so I finished these stitches around. Don't count this red right here, but 37 stitches all the way around the points. And now we're going to change to our gold color yarn. We are not going to fasten off on the red because, as you can see, we're going to be coming back to that color again in the next part of the pattern. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring my gold yarn forward, and I'm just going to drop this yarn. To some people, this is like, oh no, I don't want to do that. It's fine. We're going to be looping the gold yarn through this loop, so it's not going to fall apart. So what I do is I just make a slip knot, and we are going to just insert it like so. I'm going to turn my work. So as you can see, I still have both loops on the hook. I'm going to show you. So we are starting down here on this finished piece. You can see where I brought that red yarn up. We'll do that later, but I'm just going to leave it like this. And then to get to, let's see, row 3, we're going to chain 1. So we're just going to bring our yarn over, and then I'm just going to chain through both the red and the gold loop. So that's how I did it, and it should be okay. The only thing you have to worry about is you might need to pull this tight because the stitch loosens a bit. But once you chain 1, you can single crochet in the first 10 stitches. So, got 1. Alright, so I got my 10 single crochets done. And now I'm going to half double crochet in the next 5 stitches. Once we have our half double crochets done, then we are going to double crochet in the next 5 stitches. Okay, I said double crochet in the next 5 stitches. We're going to double crochet 3 more times. So there's a total of 8. I skipped ahead on the instructions. Okay, so we're rotating our work as we go because we just made it to that curve. And now we're going to double crochet twice in each of the next 5 stitches. So that's 1, that's 2 stitches in the first, so now I have 4 more to do that way. Alright, so we made it around the curve. So now we will double crochet in the next 5 stitches. Now I want to half double crochet in the next 4 single crochets. So you should have 4 stitches left. So we're just gonna get the half double crochets in there in each of them. Just like so. So once we have our 4 half double crochet stitches done, we are going to drop down and work in the foundation chains. So we are going to single crochet once in each of the next 3 chains. So don't pick up the chain that has the stitch in it. Go right next to it into that open chain. And this might be a little bit tricky. Let's see if we can do it. I'm just going to do a single crochet. My second one, and my third one. So we made that little jump. That's going to be kind of a big stitch, but that's okay. And I'm going to show you So we just did this part right here, where we jump down to get the yellow, and we're going to be doing the same thing with the red, as you can see coming up. So, and that's what it's going to look like. So that is going to be, and then we're going to leave the remaining stitches unworked, you know, for now. And we have a total of 45 stitches starting here with the gold and going all the way around this way. And we're not going to change colors or anything yet. We are just going to turn our work and we are going to do row 4. And to do that, we'll chain 1. And then we're going to single crochet in the first 14 stitches. So we're going to single crochet in the 3 stitches down here. And we're going to continue on up with 11 more. So once you have all your single crochets completed, we are going to half double crochet twice in the next stitch. And then double crochet once in the next stitch. And we're going to repeat that 4 more times, where you half double crochet in the next stitch, twice in the next stitch I should say, and double crochet once in the next stitch. Okay, say that's my second repeat of the pattern. So half double crochet twice in the next stitch, and double crochet once in the next stitch. Okay, so once you have finished that pattern, so it was a total of 5 times that we did the 2 half double crochets and then the double crochet, we're ready to move on. And we are going to single crochet in each remaining stitch down. So kind of like what we did before. And this will finish off row 4, and so you'll have a total of 50 stitches for this row. So at the end of row 4, we are going to be done with this gold yarn. So we are going to change to red, but before I do that I want to fasten off with the gold yarn, so I'm just going to cut this just like so. Turn my work. I'm going to get rid of this. There we go. And then I'm back to the red. I can't exactly create a slip knot, so I'm just going to kind of yarn over with the red yarn. And I will chain, oh let's see, it says to chain 1. I'm going to loosen up this fasten off that I did. Stick my hook through here. There we go. Bring my yarn to the back, and now chain 1. Maybe you guys have a different way of doing it, that's fine too. But as you can see, we're going to have like this tail here, so make sure it stays loose so you don't cinch your tail together. And we are ready to go with this. So we are on our last, oh no, not the last row yet, we're on row 5. So we chain 1 and we're going to single crochet in the first 26 stitches. So I have my single crochet stitches done. So now we've come to that curve where we have to rotate our work. And what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet twice in the next stitch, and single crochet once in the next stitch. And that's going to be our repeat pattern for 5 more times. So we single crochet twice in the next stitch, and then single crochet once in the next stitch. So 2 single crochets, and then 1 single crochet. Once you finish going around the curve, we're going to single crochet in the next 12 stitches. And that should get us to the end of the gold row. And as we did before, we're going to jump down to the unworked chains of the foundation chain row. And how we're going to do that is we're going to double crochet in the next chain, because it's a really big drop to go down. So I'm just going to insert our hook and double crochet just like that. The next one's going to be a half double crochet. The one after that's going to be a single crochet. And then of course we're going to end with a slip stitch. Just like so. And we're going to leave the rest of the remaining chains unworked, just like we did back here, or I did with this first one. Alright, and then we are ready to do row 6. So as you can see, I'm not turning my work, and what we're going to do is a reverse single crochet all the way around these stitches back to the very first stitch of row 5. And to do that, you're just going to, I'm doing this right-handed, but if you're left-handed, you would go work the way a right-handed person does. If you're right-handed, we're going to go backwards, kind of like how a left-handed person does. We're just going to stick our hook back into this stitch, pull up a loop. Oh, I think I got my yarn twisted. And let's see if we can do that again. Back in the stitch, pull up a loop, just like so. It's our first one. Go back to the second one. And it's going to feel weird because, you know, you're keeping the yarn at the back of your work, but I've just done that twice. I'm going to go into my next stitch. That's my third one. I know I can't really show you guys on the camera because I'm twisting my hand all over, but I'm trying to get my hook to go down through the stitch and pulling up a loop. So there's 2 loops on my hook, yarning over and pulling through those loops. And as you can see, kind of what's happening when I'm doing this is kind of creating this cool border edging around the paisley, so it kind of looks wrapped. I'll show you on my finished one. It does this really nice edge. It kind of pops up from the rest of the work, if you can see that. And I'm just going to finish this going all the way around. At the end, I'm going to fasten off, cut all my tails, weave my tails in, and you are finished with the paisley. And that means that we'll only have 2 shapes left to do before we sew everything together. So the next video we're going to do the circle. I hope you stay around for that. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.